Alright, so I'm out here at the Commons right now. I usually find myself coming over here just to like vibe and shit. Just a chill area. It's like a park in the middle of the city, basically. I ain't gonna lie, coming at night, it's not the best idea, but like, I say that just cause like you see some shit, like you see different types of people out here, and you see mice and shit, but it's the weekend, so it'd be a lot of people out here. When it's a lot of people, it's straight, but I want to talk about mental health and a couple other things that I feel are important. So let's get into it. All right, what's good with y'all, man? Just out here posted up in the bean. You know, I find myself coming here a lot lately just because it's like living in Massachusetts. You know, I feel like Boston's really the main part of Mass for real. That's the main place that everyone be coming to, anyone who's not from here. So for me, I want to come out here too and really experience what it has to offer. And I just find myself coming out here and appreciating it more and more. Let me talk about a couple things. I'm gonna talk about a couple things, right? So I'll start with like mental health, because, you know, as I was walking over here, like if you come to the Commons at a certain time, come at night, you're gonna see different types of people who you might deem, oh, they're climbing that thing over there. They're climbing that little statue over there. There's a statue. Someone wilding for the gram, but yeah, you know, the city just be active. It just be a lot of stuff going on for real, and you know, you'll see people who most people would just deem as crazy. Like, maybe people kind of yelling things like, put me down, put me, like, you just be saying things and kind of just doing stuff. And you might label them a bum or, you know, a hobo or some shit. Or it's just people who just kind of chill over there, right? And, you know, it just made me kind of think of mental health. You know, because I feel like it's bigger than just that image of mental health that we, you know, have been seeing. Like, we might see somebody like down the street and think, oh, they got problems, mental problems. But I feel like it's the everyday people, the people you see in traffic with the business suits and all the other stuff going on. Like, everyone's affected by mental health for real. You know, because it just really comes down to stress and just many different factors and certain chemical imbalances in the brain that you might not be able to control, you know. And for me, myself, I'm speaking on this because for myself, like, mental health played a huge role just in what happened to me, like why I got arrested and all this other stuff, and why I was trying to make that decision I was trying to make at that time. And, you know, I just realized it's just really important to, you know, put yourself first and try to eliminate stress the best way that you can, good coping mechanisms and things like that. Because I learned a lot in my time away to where I know how to control these things. But at the time, I wasn't even aware that I had mental health issues or things like that, you know. And I'm just making this video for someone out there because it's just like, it's real stuff, man. It's okay. Like, you don't have to feel shame for like seeking therapy or just something like that, you know, because that shit it helps. It's professionals who really took the time to learn how to do that shit, psychology, all that, you know. Like, I met some really cool psychologists, you know, where I was at, and, you know, they just kept it real. Like, it didn't feel fake. Like, they was really trying to help, you know, like, especially for what type of, like, I don't know, I just feel like most people in that job, like, you're not gonna do it just for the money. Like, you must really want to help people or like see people doing better, because it's not an easy job to deal with people who are going through stuff, you know, and listen to people's problems and shit, and like, you know, that's not easy. So, you know, I just feel like I could trust most people who do that, depending on, you know, who they are for real. But like, for the most part, if I like you and you do it, you know, I like your vibe, I'm like, yeah, this person, good people trying to help me and all that, you know. So that's just how I see it. I'm just like, you know, I don't know, don't be afraid to talk about mental health and things like that, especially if you're a guy, because guys, we feel like we can't really talk to nobody for real. Can't talk to your woman or a woman because she might think you're weak or this, that, and the third, even though she's not going to tell you this. She's going to tell you she want to listen, but then once you tell her some shit, she's going to low-key kind of look at you different. Might be a little turned off or just like might not vibes with you the same, depending on what you do. Like, I don't think it's, but like, I don't know. It's kind of messed up. I just feel like, we all go through mental health types of things, and we should be able to speak to people. And I'm not saying you can't talk to a girl, because it's like, it depends on the type of girl, right? Like, if she's really for you, if that's your woman, yeah, you should be able to speak to her. But just like a girl who you're just cool with or whatever, like, yeah, mental health though, I just think it's really important because it affects everybody, just on different levels, but it affects everyone. Like, if you got family, you got this, like, we all go through stress and we all go through things we don't like, and that's why I talked about vices and having a healthy outlet and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, if you don't take care of your mental health, then it could lead to just having vices, and it could lead to you, going down a path you don't want to go down, so it's good to feel like you have someone to talk to for real. For me, I'm just like anyone else. I'm a regular person, but I just do this because it's like, I don't know, it's every now and then I might have something on my mind and I just talk about it, because it could reach somebody out there, and even if it doesn't, at least I got it off my mind. And that's what I'm talking about with mental health. Like, sometimes we just have stuff on our mind and you just keep it there, and then you're keeping yourself going crazy. That's why I think it's good to have an outlet, like making music or just something. Even if you don't post it, like having something where you can let that shit out, or just crying or some shit. Like, crying's very powerful, honestly. That shit's good. Like, once you cry, you feel better. Like, I feel like you release so much, like, bullshit for real. Like, it's crazy. I might cry right now. But, yeah, protect your peace. My little cousin, he be saying that a lot, protect the peace. He be going through it sometimes, too, just mentally. I just try to tell him to chill and just, it'll be all right, you know what I mean? And, yeah. But he's all right. But, like, I know for the younger people out there, like, y'all be going through it for real. And I be seeing the posts and stuff, and I'm just like, that sad era, and I don't know. I'll just say, just stay true to yourselves and try your best, Don't let anybody try to bring you down, because, once you get out of school or wherever you're at, you're going to realize, like, the world is bigger than just all that other stuff. And, it's going to be okay. You just got to keep going, You got to focus on the people who do care. Even if you're someone who say you got no friends and none of that, it's like, I'm sure there's people you could, like, look up to in some way, like someone on YouTube or just, something. Like, there's somebody out there who's willing to, like, really listen to what you got to say and things like that. And you can always meet people too. You just got to put yourself out there, For me, I'm not somebody who's really I'm like, the stuff I'm doing now, I was never comfortable with doing. Like, I just be out and about, taking walks, kind of just put myself out there. Even today, I wore my jewelry and everything, kind of just rocked out. Like, I usually don't do that. I usually just be chilling. I like my peace and everything, but I'm just more open to, like, just living my life, and just that's how I feel. I don't want to hinder anything, And, yeah, you just got to have people, though, like, there's people out there who do care, and those are the people you should focus on, whether it's your family or just people, friends, stuff like that, Like, right, look at this right here, like, it's got this little accessory right here, And guess what? A girl made it for me. You know why she made it for me? Because she loves me, you know. Nah, but she rocked with me. Like that's one of the homies for real. And she like did that for me, and I still have it. She made it for me years ago. I still have it, and it's just like you gotta have people like that who really like, I don't know, rock with you. But you gotta look for that. Like she didn't just come out of nowhere. I hit her up type stuff, or you know, when you're out and about, talk to somebody. You know, just do something different. You know, there's nothing to lose. Time keeps going anyway, so I don't know. I feel like over time you get better with it and you get more comfortable with yourself and you know how to deal with certain bullshit. So yeah, man. But I don't know. I hope this whole thing was on topic, like with mental health and everything. But I feel like, you know, mental health, bruh, very important. So just continue to do what you're doing. And also take a break. Even though I just said keep doing what you're doing, it's good to take a break sometimes. You know, make time for yourself, man. Say no to people. Put yourself first. Yeah. And just get some fresh air. You know, when you get air, that's why I be out here. Like, it just helps me to stay calm, you know, just getting fresh air. I love nature. I kind of love nature. Like, love hate with nature. Like, you know, I don't want to be in the woods and stuff. Like, but I like taking hikes. I like doing things like that. But love hate with nature. But like, I like being outside for real. And go ahead and subscribe. I guess I'm in my phase of the channel to where I'm just like doing stuff. But like, it'll probably change. So, you know, I'm just like doing this while I have ideas and inspiration. You know. But thank you for watching. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dame Theo coming at you with another card talk. And in today's card talk, we're gonna talk about a few different topics. You know how I be. I might talk about this one day and then that, but let's talk about mental health. I'll start with mental health. So, you know, mental health is something that kind of gets thrown around, and I feel like it's something a lot of people just don't really understand because we're not really taught about it in school unless you're learning a specific thing, like you want to learn about psychology and all that. You know, for the most part, we don't really learn about it. Just feel like it's important because, you know, your mental really, I feel like it just affects everything. Like it's a part of your body. Like everything in your body is connected, you know, so I feel like if anything is wrong in any area, it's gonna affect you, you know. So like the gut, they talk about how the gut is like the second brain, you know. So if your gut's messed up, you know, it's not really gonna be good for you. And then your mind and your brain, of course, that pretty much controls your whole body for real. Like that's everything, like how you're able to think and just like able to move things, like, you know. So for your mental health to be affected, that literally affects everything, like within you, you know, because it doesn't really affect anyone else. Like if you're mad at somebody, for example, or you're frustrated, it really only affects you. The other person doesn't feel what you're feeling, you know. And it's just important to not let that destroy you, you know, and to have self-control and discipline, because it's easy to overdo things and then go down a path of just like destruction and things like that, you know. The same way you could see a celebrity who is on top and then a couple years later, oh, what happened to this person? And then you see them on the streets, or you see them, oh, they was doing drugs and shit, like, you know. So it's just about mental health. And speaking to like celebrities and stuff, I just realized when it comes to them too, you know, like a lot of people might think that they are living the best life ever and, you know, they got a lot of money and all that stuff, but I realized a lot of them be going through stuff for real. Like, you know, and just too in life, you never know what they went through before they became famous, you know. Prime example, like Keanu Reeves, like, you know, I just heard a couple things. I don't know if any of it, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard things that he just went through mad shit, like, you know, to where it's just like, for him to be able to keep doing what he's doing, like, I respect it, bro. And he's somebody too, like, I'm sure doing those movies and acting helps him, keeps him, like, just, you know, from doing anything crazy, you know, like he's able to do something he actually loves doing. I'm assuming he loves acting, you know, he's been doing it for a long time, you know, and yeah, but I've heard things about him, like he's a spontaneous person, and, you know, he'll just do things, like he don't act like a celebrity, like, you know, he actually will just talk to somebody, you know, on the street who he doesn't know, like, and what's that noise? Sound like someone was just scurrying off for a second. My fault. But, you know, back to the topic, it's just like, you know, your mental health is important. You know, a lot of people, they be taking it for granted, and I'll say these are some of the factors of like mental health, you know, just getting optimal amount of sleep, you know, your nutrition, you know, your diet, just the types of things you are consuming, you know, every day. Like if you're watching certain types of things that you know isn't good for you, you know, that could be affecting your mental health, or just depends on what you're consuming. If you're over consuming things, it could be something that's good for you, but if you're watching too much of it, it could be bad. And an example of that would be like, you know, let's say you're into spirituality and you're watching these videos and it's good, you're learning some stuff, then you keep kind of just finding new information and watching it, and it's like a little bit of information overload, and you might think like you figured it out, and, you know, people's looking at you crazy, like, hey, bro, especially if they're older, because like they've probably done it themselves or they've heard it already, and they're just like, you know, but for you, you know, since you just figured it out, you're like, oh my God, you know, you really just watched the video, you don't really know, you gotta give it time, figure out things for yourself, you know. But that's a part of mental health, man. I would say like just not keeping it real with yourself, that really affects your mental health too. Like if you're going against what you want to do, you know, you're listening to what society says you should do or what other people say you should do, but you know you got some other shit you should be doing, and it's like you gotta really focus on yourself. I feel like that's the real, like, the biggest thing to mental health for real. Like if you do not listen to yourself, like it's a wrap. Like who are you gonna listen? You know, like you're gonna be listening to everyone else. You know, people just gonna walk all over you, do whatever they want, and you gotta learn to say no too. Like just fuck it. If they're mad that you said no, that's good. You know, just get them out of here. Like, you know, they'll learn like, okay, I'm not gonna ask this person, or I'm not gonna bother this person, you know. And people gotta learn. If you don't tell them, they're not gonna learn, you know. But yeah, you know, mental health is very, very important. You do not want to mess with that. And so for me, let's talk about me and my mental health, right? So this time last year, you know, I was going through a lot. I had a lot of stress I was dealing with, and just things that I didn't realize, right? And the best way to put it is, I had a episode, and there's people who saw, like, okay, I was posting a lot and on Twitter and shit, and, you know, on my IG, I had like 100 stories, and I was just posting, right? That was like my way of just like, fuck it. I felt like I had to put some shit out there just so people could see, you know. But I basically crashed out, and then I decided to go move across the country and shit, and I ended up going to jail just because I didn't know where I was and shit. And, you know, so I make these videos. I want somebody to avoid the shit that I had to go through, you know, and just, I'm not gonna say that you can't avoid stress and stuff like that. Like, stress is natural, it just kind of happens, but it's good to be able to cope with that shit, you know, and not letting that shit ruin you and just things like that. Cause I'll be real, it'd be real out here, man. Like, it's really messed up. Sometimes I feel like people don't care, you know. But I'm gonna say that someone does care for sure. Like, you know, somebody cares. So, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, and I feel like you'll be good. Whoever's watching this video, you know. I feel like you just gotta, shit, my fucking eyes are stinging. I am not crying, but anyway, yeah, you gotta, no, you just gotta keep it real with yourself and, like, understand, like, is this thing making my head hurt, or is this, that, and third doing this? Like, you know, you can't, I don't know, you can't trick yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, only you know how you feel, but, like, I'm gonna just say that mental health is very important, you know. And the best thing to do I think the best thing for your mental health is just being happy, like, with what you're doing in life. Like, just being able to wake up every day and you're actually happy, or like you're content, you know, type shit. Like, you're not completely miserable. So that's gonna fuck up your whole, like, everything, your drive, your everything, you know. But just a quick video on mental health. I made another one too. We'll see which one I use. But that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all later.